The biggest album credit you have, I think, and probably by far when you consider sales, is Pink Floyd's The Wall. And it was probably recorded in multiple studios, but it was recorded in L.A. largely. I was looking at the list of musicians on that record. Mm-hmm. Your father-in-law is on that record.
Yeah.
Frank Morocco is on that record. I'm assuming he played accordion. He didn't play anything else, right?
That was it.
So if there's accordion on Pink Floyd's The Wall, that's his father-in-law, who passed away a few years ago.
Yeah. 10, actually.
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. And probably the most recorded accordion player
in history.
In history.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Lee Ritenour's on it. Mm-hmm. Tony Tennille sings backgrounds on it.
Yeah.
From Captain and Tennille, which is interesting.
Right.
Jeff Porcaro and Joe Porcaro are both on it.
Right.
Okay. So who called you for this?
Bob DiCaro.
Was he one of the producers?
Frank DiCaro.
Frank, was he one of the producers, or was he
No, he was the contractor.
The contractor for the
So basically, the contractors know what you do. You know, they know pretty much what you if you have a specialty or whatever. So I got called by Frank DiCaro, and who knew that I played classical or fingerstyle. Fingerstyle.
One of your fortes.
And I got the call because David Gilmour, they had tried to play something with a felt pick. He doesn't play fingerstyle at all. So I got the call, and I showed up at the studio, and they didn't have anything written. The song was "Is There Anybody Out There?"
Is there anybody out there?
Right. So
was there anything recorded, or were you the first thing on tape?
No, I was the only thing.
Yeah, because that's all you.
Well, yeah, and then they added everything else after the fact. They added.
Was there a click?
No, it was just me. So they basically Bob Ezrin had come up with the 3-note. It's that almost James Bond sounding E F F sharp. Mm-hmm. Back to F, back to E. So he had come up with that 3-note pattern, and that's all they had. So he and David Gilmour and I sat down in the booth, and they kind of told me what they were looking for. So I'd play something, they go, yeah, do that, and I'd play something else, put that with it, and we constructed the whole thing that way. Then I went in and recorded it.
Okay, so you kind of worked it out, and they were sitting there when you worked it out.
Yeah.
So, and then once you had it down, is that the first take that we hear? Or?
We did about 10 takes.
Okay.
Just Bob Ezrin is an amazing producer, and he had a specific performance that he wanted.
He was looking for something that
he wanted a specific performance, and I probably one of the first 2 or 3 takes would have been my choice, but he wanted more, and finally after about 10 takes he goes, that's the one.
Okay, so it was the 10th one. A lot of times you're right. It's the first take is always almost always the best,
right?
And then you're just trying to replicate that. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I was trying to memorize what we had put together as well.
Yeah.
So maybe I sounded more confident.
Or if there's hesitation.
Yeah. So maybe I sounded more confident or whatever 10 takes in, or maybe he just wanted to, see what the parameters were. How good can you play this or whatever.
Right.
Funny thing is, years later, probably maybe 5-6 years ago now, a buddy of mine had run into Bob Ezrin and said, "Hey, remember Joe DiBlasi? Worked on The Wall. Anybody out there?" He said, "Oh yeah, I totally remember." So he said, "Well, he's one of my best friends." So he said, "Let me get him on the phone." So he gets me on the phone, and Bob said, "Well," he said, "now I think I could play that song better than you could." And I said, "Well, you've had 40 years to practice it." I came up with it on the spot.
Yeah.
And he laughed.
What studio was that at? Do you remember?
Sunset Sound.
Oh, Sunset Sound. Okay, yeah.
That's
a great studio.
Yeah. Excellent studio.
And
another cool thing for guitar players. First of all, David Gilmour is the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet.
Oh, good.
He was such...
I was going to ask.
He was so nice. And Roger Waters, who took the writing credit for what I did, wasn't even there. So he may have had something to do with the 3-note phrase, you know, the E, F, F sharp,
Hard to know.
James
Yeah.
Bond
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing. But he took the writing credit for it, and then learned it note for note and put out a video of himself saying that this was his demo of
Oh my gosh.
of what I played.
Well, I've been there too. Now that was your Ramirez.
Yeah,
Do you have that guitar here? Is it out?
it's in the
It's
closet.
packed away.
I can pull it out if you
You
want.
want to pull out the Ramirez that you played on?
Sure.
Okay, we can do that. Hold on, take a break here.
This is the beast. Probably way
It's
out of-
heavy. Wow, that's amazing. Pretty
Pretty.
That is a gorgeous. Yeah, my
Brazilian.
I have a Ramirez flamenco guitar.
Oh wow.
Sorry. There you go.
It's a big sounding guitar.
Yeah, it is. It's a really big sounding guitar,
Yeah.
especially out in front of it. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to have you play it though, because I don't want to have a copyright strike against me.
Oh, okay. Well, and also I've got no fingernail.
You know, I broke my thumbnail just a couple days ago, and I went in and I never go to a nail salon, but she actually did a really good job on it.
Oh yeah.
She saved it,
Right.
basically, because I
Yeah,
cracked
'cause
it.
Mine are all done at the nail salon.
Oh, okay.
So I have to go have that one fixed. As you get older, your nails get soft.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, so this is the guitar I use.
it's a gorgeous. That's a Brazilian rosewood
Yeah.
back and sides. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I was 19 years old when I went to Spain to buy this, and I went right to the factory. And
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you were studying classical guitar in college at that
Yeah.
point? Okay, so
Yeah.
you knew. And Ramirez's have been like the instrument. They were the instrument for years, decades.
Yeah, and for my taste, they still are. I don't think that another classical guitar company that I've heard has the consistency and the with the volume and the tone that these have. Christopher Parkening, again, who's a close friend, that's all he'll play. He won't play anything but a Ramirez.